What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I was going to do this video yesterday but lost track of time, so I'm doing it today. Luckily it's still in time. It is the preview of BATE versus Chelsea. Obviously Europa League game. Everyone says it's all depressing, it's Europa League, but I'm not too bothered. Going to sort of focus on the team as you normally do, sort of normal things, you know. Look at the team, what the team's going to be, who, like the press conference, who's left out, who's in the team, etc, etc. Looking at the who we're against, the game last time, blah 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 blah. You know the thing. Also looking fresh today, rocking the old Peaky Blinder look. Let me know what you think. All that. But yeah. So first things first. We got the press conference first. Yeah, the press conference. In his press conference, or talking to the media, I think it was a press conference. It was quite a small one though. Sarri talked about who was in the team, who had been left at home, who was playing, who was not. And so far, or what we know, most people know this by now, obviously, as I said, it's a little bit late, so most people will know the news, but if they don't, it's helpful all that. Morata, Rudiger, Fabregas, Luiz, and Alonso all left at home for multiple reasons. Fabregas was ill, and the other four, I think, were just left because they weren't needed. Let them rest up, let them continue training for the weekend, which for me is good for many reasons. Number one, it means we should have a fit back four. Apart from Azpilicueta, I don't think he'll play today. Which means he'll fit back four against Everton, which is good. It's nice, like that. Also, it's good for me on a personal level. You know why. I've mentioned other videos for the hair, for Morata, all that. But what it does mean with the fact that the likes of Luiz and Rudiger aren't there is it can mean, I was talking to Lou about this yesterday, that Ampadu, at least, might probably won't get the team, probably won't get the starting 11. He might get the bench, which is be good to see. And same with the fact that Morata's not there, Giroud starting. It probably means there's a space on the bench for Hudson-Odoi. It's pointless talking about it anymore, saying, oh, I want him to play, I want him to play, I'd like him to play. He probably won't play, he probably will play. He's probably not going to play. If he does, it'll be like 20 minutes. So it's one of those, it's like there's no point talking about it constantly, because it's just going to, it's like, it's a broken record, basically is the phrase. It's just pointless. But yeah, that was about it. There was a bit about Hazard as well that I think Sarri said he's going to play between about 45 to 60 minutes. He said he wants to try and play him for, so I can see him probably playing a half or so, maybe starting, maybe playing a half or so, or coming on in the second half, like at half time. I don't really know. He'll probably start and then come off later in the game. I don't know how I feel about that with Everton at the weekend in 2 or 3 days' time. I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday, about the weekend. And if he only plays like about 45 minutes, it'll be fine. If he plays close to 60 minutes, that's when it's getting a little bit worrying. Purely because he should be starting against Everton, obviously, and B, we want him to be at his best so he can make Coleman look stupid, or Digne, either or, whichever side he goes on. He can do magical things, can Hazard. But yeah, it's an odd. I don't quite know how I feel about it yet. We'll wait and see how long he plays before I reserve judgment on whether it was a good idea or not. That kind of remains to be seen. But yeah, that's about it for the press conference. On to the team we're playing, BATE. So as I said, with BATE, last time we played it was 3-1. 3-1. Yeah, Loftus-Cheek got a hat-trick. Of course he did. In terms of this game, obviously, with this game, if we win, we're through. And this is another thing in terms of playing your strongest team and playing Hazard on that. I was talking a little bit about this yesterday. For me, the thing with playing Hazard as well would be, in terms of playing against BATE in this game, is if Sarri was a manager that liked to experiment a bit, I'd be fine with playing my strongest team, because then if we win this game, the next 2 games we'll probably experiment a bit, play like Ampadu, Hudson-Odoi, try and bed Loftus-Cheek in more, play a couple of others. I can't even think who else. Maybe play like Emerson a bit more, because I really like Emerson, stuff like that. But he doesn't change it, so it's pointless talking about that. It kind of makes no difference. But anyway, with BATE, this is a game we should be winning. It's really odd that the other 3 teams in our group, BATE, PAOK and VD, have all won a game against each other in different ways. So VD beat PAOK beat BATE, and BATE beat VD. And it's just a bit odd, so they're all on 3 points. But I can't really say which team is worse than the other. I know less players from Barta than do the other team, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're the worst team. For example, the other player I know from Barta is Hleb. One of my mates, he's still playing, to be honest. He's about 50, or at least he looks that way. But, yeah, for me, we should be winning this game, obviously, because we're the best team in the group. But yeah, I just... It should be comfortable, but away days in the Europa League rarely are, I feel like. Like, we saw against PAOK, for example, we should have been winning that game more than 1-0, and it was only 1-0, and they didn't really create anything at all, and it was still one of those games where they could have had one chance, scored it, and all of a sudden it's 1-1, and it's looking like not a terrible result, but not the result we should be getting. Yeah, that we should be getting. So, yeah, I think if we just play to our strengths, play the same way we did at home against them, there's no reason we can't come out with a win. So yeah, that's BATE. Now on to the Chelsea team itself. And so for the Chelsea team itself, obviously with the likes of Alonso, Luiz, and Rudiger not being I feel like most of the team kind of speaks for itself because of who we've left and who is coming back and whatnot. So kind of the front three, really, for me, it's the front three and the back four that really speak for itself. It was definitely Giroud and Hazard, I feel, starting, and I want to say Pedro, but Louis made a good point yesterday that Willian came off at the weekend. But I still feel like Pedro will play just because it's a chance for him to get back to full fitness as well. But I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to say Pedro. I'm going to throw it out there. And I also think that with the back four, as I said, that's pretty solid. That's obviously going to be Emerson, Cahill and Christensen, and then probably Zappacosta, which is going to be interesting because the last time those four played together, I called it the most embarrassing game I'd ever watched, and I said that 3 of those 4 should never play a game for us again. So I'm either going to be I'm either going to be proved right and be miserable, or be proved wrong, look like a mug, but be really happy because we'd have won the game and not made any defensive errors, which will point I look like a mug because I'll have said then they should never play for us again. But yeah, but the midfield three is the kind of interesting one. Kante, I feel like I'll definitely play because he was included in the squad over Fabregas because Fabregas was ill. Excuse me. So I feel like he'll start because it's Kante, and I feel like he can basically play every game. He drops out some games because rotation, I guess. Apart from that, I can see Kovacic starting because he didn't play that much of the game at the weekend, and I think it's just going to be pretty much standard, sort of what you started the season as, Kovacic, Kante and Jorginho. Just because if Fabregas wasn't in the squad, I'd have said Fabregas would have started, but there's no one else. For me, no one else would work in that where Jorginho plays as that player that gets the ball quite close to the defence, starts playing it out. Barkley wouldn't work there because he's more an attack-minded, likes taking the ball. Loftus-Cheek wouldn't work because he's a similar sort of player. Kante would work there in the sense that it'd be good for him as the defensive midfielder, but he's not one to kind of carry the ball, play it out, put 50-yard passes everywhere, which wouldn't work for me. And same with Kovacic is similar sort of player to Bartley and Loftus-Cheek. He likes taking the ball and moving with it. So I feel like, yeah, the only 2 players we've got that do that is Jorginho and Fabregas. Fabregas is out, so I think obviously Jorginho will start. But yeah, and then obviously I feel Kepa will start in goal because I think he starts all of our Europa League games. I think Cavalier only starts cup games. So yeah, it's as you would expect mostly, apart from some aspects of the front three, like with Hazard playing. Actually, no, he probably would play, but with like Giroud playing and whatnot. But yeah, so as I said, I'll go for it again. It's Kepa in goal. I keep saying that, Alonso. Emerson and Zappacosta at fullbacks. Centre backs, Christensen and Cahill. 3 in the midfield of Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, and then 3 across the front of Pedro, Giroud, and Hazard. Let me know what you think, if you think it's going to be any different, if you think it's going to be the same, if you think talking crap, etc., 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 down in the comments. And then the final thing to talk about the team, is the score prediction. So with the score prediction, I don't think it's going to be quite as comfortable as the one at home, but still, maybe, because... No, I'm going to say it's going to be the same result as the home game. It's going to be 3-1 because I feel like with Barca having the crowd on their side, and particularly with us always, even with the defense, like even when we have our back four normally, there's a couple of mistakes in us. There's a few times we can go rash. We've seen it against United. We saw it against Derby. We saw it a couple of times towards the start of the game against Burnley where they were pressing us, and they were getting a few chances in terms of getting in the air. It just happened to be that Rudiger and Luiz were slightly better in the air than Vokes and Hendrick. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be 3-1. I think they can nick a goal, BATE, but I think it will probably be... I think it'll be similar-ish. Did they score before Loftus-Cheek got his hat-trick or after? But I think it's going to be like, we go 2-0 up, they get a goal back, and then we get a third, and that's at the point where they score. But as I said, like similar with the team, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. That's about it from me. Nothing else really to talk about. Apart from the fact that, as you can probably tell behind me, it's a bit bland, it's a bit boring. Obviously, I've just got the white wall, I've got my coats and crap. My bed kind of there. But yeah, I'm I'm planning on adding some stuff behind me. I think I'm going to get a Chelsea flag. I might get a couple of other things. If you've got any ideas of what I should add behind me, any sort of basically anything that's related to football or Chelsea more specifically, but kind of football in general, let me know. Again, with the usuals, social media down in the description. Like, subscribe, click the little notify bell so you know when one of my videos comes out. And hopefully, I say this all the time, I need to get better at time management when I'm putting my videos out. But yeah, that's about it from me. As I said, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.